Howdy folks, coming at you from beautiful Colorado. And I am standing next to a Kia. Not just any Kia, two Kias. Not just any two Kias, but two Kia Sorentos. Very different ones though. This one, you may notice, is very dirty. However, this one, well, not so much. And that's because we had an opportunity to drive this one, which is known as an X Pro, but this one, which is their new hybrid, no, not so much, which is why it is completely clean. We'll get to that in just a minute. But let's talk about the X Pro, because this is a updated vehicle and one that we recently got a chance to really take off-road, do some light off-roading, and we had an opportunity to drive it on the highway, back highways, dirt roads, in the snow. If you couldn't tell, there's a ton of snow here. Well, frankly, all over the place. Now, there are a couple things you should know. They've updated the exterior significantly, and even though it's very dirty, you can still see that. So let's start from the bottom and work our way up. Now down here you have an entirely different chin that leads to, over here, and you can see it over there, this little side vent, which is not open. Strange, but what you do have is right over here, and I'm going to clean it off with my fingers. As I said, we just took these off-road. That's right, little fog driving lights right down there. Now, they also have additional lighting up here. This is all new. Probably easier for me to show you over here on the hybrid because the front ends are very similar. So these are all new lights here, all LEDs all the time. And then you have this new LED strip coming across here. And what you're going to notice is that these vehicles are very familiar looking. And that's because the Kia Sportage looks a lot like this. This is just more, well, it's more. Okay, let's talk about what we got going on over here. Boom. You may notice these are much smaller wheels. Those are 17-inch. Here's the important part. 17-inch wheels, which are filthy. Yeah, they're black. Anyway, these are BF Goodrich trail terrains that are on here. And this is what I'm ecstatic about, because this gives us an opportunity to do more with these. In the next video, we'll be able to provide driving impressions and tell you how different these tires are on this vehicle. Now, normally you'd be getting these with 19s or 20-inch wheels. So you can understand why a guy like me who enjoys going off-road might appreciate these tires. Now, these are 285/65 R17s, and the trail terrains I'm familiar with because I actually put them on my vehicle. Okay, so let's talk about the overall look. So if you want to stand back there a little bit, look at that. That dirty brown is not part of the color. That dirty brown is 2 days of rough and tumble off-roading, sort of, kind of. But they did something very interesting by doing these highlights with black. You can still see them. And those highlights, well, they are all over the vehicle, and they come with the X Pro package. Okay, that's including a roof rack. Now back here, and I can't go too far back, it's gooey, and I think people may have used this as a urinal. Underneath there, standard tow package. Something very interesting with that. Can you hear the suction sounds? So that tow package, that provides, check this out, 4,500 pounds of towing. Why is that a big deal? Because it's about 1,000 pounds more than what these things can normally do. What they did was they augmented the cooling system. I'm going to show you the engine, so stay right there, and I'm going to pop the hood. It may be a little dirty, I apologize. I wanted you guys to get this video immediately after we returned, so that way you could see what we've been doing. And yes, indeed, we've been bouncing around a bit, but it gives us a fresh little taste of what this thing can do. Oh, it's not so dirty. That's wonderful. Let me get to the hood thing. Okay. Now, what if I told you that there are significant changes that have gone under the hood? Now, the powertrain itself is different in some ways. So overall output and everything else, not that big of a deal. In here with this turbo, this is a 2.5 liter turbocharged engine. Because of these changes and the thing they did here with the radiator or the cooling system, they were able to increase the towing. They didn't get specific exactly with what's going on, but I can tell you this. The SmartStream turbocharged system, very similar to what we've already seen on other Hyundai and Kia products. Do I sound a little out of breath? Folks, I'm telling you, I am at about 9,000 feet right now, so I'm doing my best to not sound like I'm out of breath. Shall we continue? That 8-speed automatic transmission, by the way, that comes on this, doesn't come on all models. We'll cover that in a second. But you know what this has? It has paddle shifters. Yeah, come on, check it out. So what we're gonna do now is gonna have a look at the interior because there have been major changes there. Bang! Look at that. The X Pro gives you some extra sweet looking interior. Look at that. That is a special type of wood that's not real. Okay, let's hop in. And I'm gonna fire her up. And the reason why is because you need to see these two screens. There's two of them here. That's about 24 inches, by the way. Here's what I'm talking about, though. All right, engine's on. Okay, so driver's information, and this is your infotainment screen. 12.3 inches each, so over 24 inches. And there's a slight bend right about here, so you can see this curves just a bit. This is something that Hyundai's been doing for a while, and Kia, and it's new for this vehicle. All right, so you have all of that stuff right there. Brand spanking new. I want to show you some of the controls. Now, this is something interesting. This is also technically a touchscreen. Let me see if I can get a better view of it. There we go. So these aren't buttons. This is all a screen, this whole thing. So, for instance, let me hit media. See how that changes? And that changes that. So, say what you will. These are not haptic, and they're not buttons. You do have temperature control here and here, and down here, seat heater controls, and down here, you have your controls for terrain. However, there is no off-road mode, even though we've been off-roading. There is a snow mode, you have a sport mode, eco, normal, and then this is your lock button. Now, the lock button, it's not a center locking diff. Not exactly. It's more of like a clutch. And what it will do is it'll send 50% of the power front, 50% of the power back. Now, Kia says that this system has torque vectoring, but it's not mechanical. It's brake-based. So, essentially, we're talking about traction control. Okay? And I will be able to tell you in the next video how that system works because we're definitely going to be testing it. USB-C setup over here. And we're going to hop out of here. And I'm going to show you the back seat in just a sec. There we go. Okay, back seat time. Now the back seat, here we go. As you can see, very similar type of trim as the front, which I really am appreciative of. There is enough room for me to sit behind myself. I'm 6'1". So sitting back here is not much of a problem. These do slide back and forth and they recline. Part of the reason why is because there is a third row seat here. In the next video, you'll be able to see the fat guy get in the back of that, but we don't have time in this one. Okay, there's more because we have cup holders in the door. And what is that? Lo and behold, yes, that's right, heated seats in the back. Have the screen here. And just so you know, in the back, you do have vents. There are no vents for the third row seaters. Sorry, guys. But you do have USB-C embedded in the seats. And then you have more power outlets down here. So this really is built to be something that could hold 6 people. And it really is, I would say, a little bit more of a family vehicle. Okay. So this is gas operated. Nothing in it like a hybrid, but this does have one. This is a hybrid powertrain in this vehicle. And before I get to that, I wanted to go over one more thing for you because I don't have the sticker for this, They haven't let us into the car. They won't let us drive it. But I have the sticker for this. I snuck it out of the car for you. There it is. Yeah, that's right. $49,400 down there, bruh. Why so expensive? You'll have to find out in the next video. Now, the hybrid, just a couple things about it. We didn't get a chance to drive it, and because of that, I can't tell you any impressions about this vehicle. I can tell you that it has hybrid powertrain from the previous model, 6-speed automatic transmission, gets much better fuel mileage. That's no surprise. Oh, by the way, were you curious? That other vehicle, the one I just drove, 23 mpg. So we will cover this one at a later date, not today. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Stay tuned because our full drive video is right around the corner, and we take that baby off-road and really get a chance to test out how manly it truly is. I'll see you next time.